My name is Harmony Edosomwan, and welcome to Cooking in Harmony. I am so excited. This is our very first episode of a brand new cooking show. A little birdie also told me that this might be the first ever cooking show on CCTV, and if that's the case, I am very honored. But yeah, without further ado, today we're gonna be making some jack-o'-lanterns. I'm gonna be making some cute little faces on the sky, and we're gonna be stuffing that with some chili, all right? Topped with some cheese. And yeah, it's just a fun little treat for Halloween. This is a Halloween special. You may notice some strange looking skeletons here. But yeah, that's our way of celebrating Halloween. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. But I thought it'd be fun to give y'all a little history lesson on Halloween a little bit. And I don't want to mess it up, so I decided it might be fun for me to read it. All right, so before the costumes and candy, Halloween actually started way back. I'm talking ancient times, with the Celtic festival called Samhain. It's a word I'm still learning how to pronounce. Pardon me. You'll see with this cooking show, I'm not really coming from a place of expertise. I'm coming from a place of exploration, all right? So we're both gonna explore and have fun today, all right? So this tradition actually marked the end of harvest and the start of winter. People believe that on this night, the boundary between the living and the dead blurred. Quite spooky, right? So that's why people put on costumes, to kind of like fend off the spirits. Today, you'll kind of see, I'm in like a nice little 1950s kind of attire. This is my way of warding off the dead spirits, all right? Dressing like a traditional 1950s housewife today. All right, let's get this chili started. So first things first, what you're gonna wanna do is wash your veggies, right? And we're gonna be chopping up just a little onion. Now, like I said, I am not an expert in all things cooking, but I am someone who loves to have a lot of fun in the kitchen, okay? And I'm gonna show you how to do just that. And I'm also gonna show you how to make all foods yummy and delicious, all right? So let's chop an onion. Now, don't judge my chopping skills, okay? Now, while we get into these onions, I wanna share a little bit about me, because you may not even know who I am. You must be like, who's this girl randomly on my TV screen? How did she get this show? What is she doing in Vermont? Is she even from Vermont? Well, the answer to that last question is no, I'm not from Vermont. I'm actually originally from New York City. I came to Vermont in 2016 when I was to attend the University of Vermont, where I studied English and American Sign Language. Yes. Am I fluent in sign language today? No. Do I know? Can I have a conversation in sign language? Yes, I can. And it's actually come quite in handy. So by trade, guys, I am a caterer. I'm also a model. I'm also serving as Miss Black Vermont, which next month's episode, we're actually gonna be having a whole little special on that, where I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that. But yes, that's who I am. A girl from the Bronx, living in the Green Mountains. And I started my business, Harmony's Kitchen, which maybe some of you might have heard of, when I was a student at the University of Vermont, actually. And it's been a crazy journey since. Harmony's Kitchen is Vermont's original soul food catering business. So lots of firsts going on here. So I'm just turning on my skillet while trying to also not cry, because these onions are getting to me already, okay? Let's take a look at this set while we let this heat up. So I built this set. I'm very proud of this set, y'all. There isn't a kitchen here, okay? It's not a kitchen, but we built a kitchen here. But as you might be able to tell, what's my favorite color? It's pink. I'm also, though I was born in 1998, I have been obsessed with the 70s since I was a little kid. And so, yeah, that's where you see the grooviness going on over here. And also the grooviness of just me. So now we're gonna add some oil to our skillet. I'm literally tearing up because of these onions, they're not cool. And we're gonna let that kind of like heat up a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna get a little bit of a napkin, if I can Ugh, why are they making me cry so much today? Oh, tearing up here. Okay. I'm gonna take a little bit of a little pause. Okay, so we're back. Let's put our onions in here. Let's see if it's ready. You can always test if it's ready by giving a little bit, all right? That's ready. Let's get this going. Ooh, it's sizzling. All right, let's grab one of our handy dandy spoons. So right now what we're gonna do, we're just gonna saute these onions until they're fragrant, all right? We are making some chili, all right? And I'm so excited to stuff it in these peppers. Oh, already smells so good in here. All right, so now I'm gonna add a little bit of adobo, which, if you're wondering what adobo is a seasoning mix that honestly you can put on anything and it's delicious, okay? If you're local to the area, you can find this in Shaw's or in Market 32. Just go to the Mexican aisle or the Hispanic aisle, it ranges in what it's called, and you'll find it there. All right, so those onions are doing its thing. I'm so excited. Now we're gonna add some beef. We'll try not to touch said beef, but you know, it's okay for your hands to get a little dirty in the kitchen, okay? All right, let's get this beef in here. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. And we're gonna get this cooking as well. Just gonna mash it up a little bit. Now, some people don't like when their chili is super, like the beef is super minced. So if you want some clumps of beef in your chili, you leave it like that, you know? For me, I'm gonna do a little bit of both. I'm gonna kind of break it apart so it cooks better. But at the same time, maybe a little bit of clumps. All right, look at that. Awesome. So I thought it would be best for us to make some chili today because it's fall. I would say fall is my second favorite season. It's just a great time to, you know, get comfy and cozy. And I feel like chili is the ultimate comfort food, all right? All right. So I've broken this up into little pieces and whatnot. We're gonna go ahead and let this do its thing, let it cook. We're basically waiting for all your meat to turn brown. We're gonna add a little bit more seasoning. So we're gonna add a little bit more adobo here. All right. We're gonna add some black pepper. A little bit of garlic powder. Forgot to open this. Don't do this, guys. Be careful. Be careful. And if you're a kid, let your parents do it for you, okay? Okay. Boom. A little bit of garlic. Oh, yeah. It smells so good, guys. It smells so good. Let's give that a good mix. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's going to be cooking, doing its thing. Might take another 5 or so minutes. We're gonna let this fully brown and cook before we add all of our other ingredients, okay? But so far, so good. This is super simple, super easy, all right, y'all? So, now, next thing we're gonna do is let's chop up a little bit of this bell pepper and we'll add it in there too. It's gonna be super yummy. Just a little bit, not a lot. Okay? So we'll chop that up. Like I said, don't judge my chopping skills. If you can do it better, maybe you should come to my kitchen and teach me, all right? Or I can invite you on the show. You can show me how to chop bell peppers. I would love that. Boom, boom. All right. Boom. I'm just putting them into little squares. And you can add some more bell peppers. You do what you want with your chili. This is what I'm gonna do with my chili though. Okay, so, boom, that's chopped. Boom, these are still cooking. All right. Oh, it smells so good, can't wait. I did not eat lunch today, so I'm very excited. Very, very excited. Okay, so that's doing its thing. I thought it would be fun while that's kind of doing its thing cooking. Let's try to make some faces, all right? Now, I am no artist, okay? So you at home, don't judge me. But here's the plan. This should be a fun activity. You can do this by yourself. If you have any kiddos or friends, gather them along and go ahead and, you know, carve some faces. But the plan is you're gonna wanna find the side. Let me find an easier one. You're gonna find a side that has the most surface area, all right? And if I could guess, we're gonna go with this bad boy. And so the plan is, we're gonna make a little jack-o'-lantern. So we're gonna carve out some triangles and then we're gonna attempt to make a face, okay? Let's see. Now, I saw a video where they did it upside down. I guess that makes it more menacing. But I don't want a menacing jack-o'-lantern. So we're gonna do not that, all right? So now, I'm just cutting some triangles in here. Boom, so far so good. Nice and easy, all right? And now you may notice, you're like, whoa, Harmony, the tops are still on. What are you doing? Well, it actually makes it a little bit simpler to carve them when you leave the tops and the pit in. So we're gonna remove that afterwards, all right? Okay, so far so good, guys. Honestly, not that bad. Boom, we're gonna multitask, all right? Let's make sure this is still doing its thing, still cooking, still seeing some pink. But yeah, I like to multitask in the kitchen. If I can wash some dishes at the same time, I'm gonna do that, all right? If I could do a little things at the same time. When you're a caterer like me, I'm bouncing back and forth. I'm frying chicken, I'm making mac and cheese, pulling cornbread out the oven. It's all happening at the same time, all right? So, back to this. We got our eyes already. The hardest part was the face. I mean, the smile, or the mouth area. Now, how am I gonna do it? We'll see. If you're a better artist at home, please, if you make this recipe, send it to me on Instagram. And my Instagram is just Harmony's Kitchen VT. So now I'm just kind of making a mountain almost of a mouth, replicating our beautiful green mountains here in Vermont. Looks exactly the same. All right. Okay. Boom. Now let's try to pop it out. Let's see what happens when we pop it out. And now be careful when you're doing this. Don't jam it in there, all right? Use a little itty bitty pointer so that you don't cut yourself, all right? Don't jam it in there, be careful. Okay, now let's pop it out at the same time. Oh, guys, that is so cute. That is so cute. I'm like kind of shocked. I guess I am an artist. We're doing something different every day, okay? I am an artiste. Okay, so now let's chop off this top. And you can keep this top if you like, but I'm gonna go ahead and toss it because we're gonna be adding our own topping of sorts. Gonna get all these seeds out of here. Boom. Perfect. All right. Now, I should have made it maybe a little bit lower, but yeah, I think that looks cool. Okay, So, boom, that's done. I'm actually gonna use the top. We're gonna add it with these bell peppers. Why not, right? We have all these seeds. If you want seeds, you can. I'm gonna try not to add any seeds to mine, okay? And that ground beef, it's just about done. Literally perfect amount of time letting that ground beef cook while we make these little jack-o'-lanterns. Okay, so boom. Just chopping these up. Ba-da-da-bup. So, to our viewers at home, what are you going to be for Halloween? I have quite a few ideas for Halloween myself. I have a dog whom I named after my favorite movie trilogy of all time, and that is Back to the Future. So my dog's name is actually Marty McFly. He's a 1-year-old Bichon. Maybe one day I will bring him in, but he doesn't really do quite too well in kitchens, okay? He goes a little crazy for the food. All right? But for Halloween, we're actually planning on being, I'm gonna dress him up like Marty McFly, the character from the 80s movie, and I'm gonna be Doc. So I'm gonna have like a little white afro going, a little white coat, and it's gonna be a good time, all right? So that's one set of Halloween costumes I'm gonna do. I like to have about 3 different costumes, okay? And I think the next costume I'll probably have is, I wanna be Storm from X-Men, So, yeah, that's my plan. What's your plan? What are you gonna be for Halloween? Okay, so I added the bell peppers, as you can see. We're letting that cook. Literally smells so good. Boom. Next, let's add these guys. So we have some tomato sauce, some kidney beans, as well as some diced tomatoes, all right? Starting with the diced tomatoes, I'm not gonna add the whole thing. Actually, yes I am. Diced tomatoes. We're gonna add a little bit of beans. Adding the whole thing. And now, let's add some tomato sauce. We're literally just gonna throw it all in there at once, all right? Nice and easy. Tomato sauce. We have some beef broth here we're gonna add. I'm kind of eyeballing this, but I'll be giving y'all the recipe. Don't worry about that. All right, so let's give that a good mix. Let's mix that in here. Yummy. Let's go. Yes. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so good inside of these jack-o'-lanterns. Perfect. Amazing. Okay, that's pretty darn good. So what we're basically gonna do is let that have a good mix, get it all nicely incorporated, okay? This is a really simple chili recipe, all right? You literally can't go wrong with this. And nobody's gonna be complaining about this chili, I'll tell you that much, all right? Okay, so that is all nicely incorporated. Let's add some seasonings, all right? We're gonna add a little bit of our adobo back in here. Give that a good shake. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Some more black pepper. Some garlic powder. And normally I would have added some onion powder too. You can do that. Now, this is another seasoning mix that I absolutely adore and love, and that is called sazon. Super delicious. And it's just a must. A must in my cabinet is adobo and sazon, okay? I'm putting y'all on to some really good food ideas, all right? You won't have bad food if you use these guys. Boom. I'm gonna give that a good mix. Now, so that was a little bit of our seasonings. I do have this chili mix, has 30% less sodium because we're already adding kind of like a lot of sodium. I'm not gonna add this whole thing. I kind of just wanna give it a little bit of like, more of a chili flavor. Boom. I already did all my shopping for this at our local Shaw's right in Colchester. So shout out to Shaw's. I'm there multiple times a week. All right, so we're gonna let this do its thing. As you can see, this is a pretty chunky chili. I love me a nice chunky chili, all right? Boom. Oh, can't wait. Can't wait. All right, so now that that's nicely incorporated, what we're gonna do is we're gonna let that cook, let it do its thing. Put our little cover back on, all right? And while that's doing its thing, what do you say that we carve some more jack-o'-lanterns, all right? Let's give it a try. Boom, okay, let's find this surface area. Let's see, the best. I'll say this is it. Okay, I'm gonna cut a little bit lower this time so that when we cut off the top, it'll be a little bit better. Boop. And don't worry, I'll be giving y'all all the durations in our recipe. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, this is getting quite easier, if I do say so. Boop. Pop that eye out as well. Okay, so far, so good. It's doing its thing. Okay, so now let's formulate the mouth. Let's see. Mm-hmm. I'm about to sneeze. You know what they say? If you're not sneezing, it ain't seasoned, all right? The food is seasoned to perfection. Okay. Popping out this mouth. The mouth was the part that worried me the most, but honestly, not too bad. Not too shabby. I realized these are technically supposed to be scary looking, so if the art wasn't artin', it would have been fine. It's totally fine. Okay, let's pop that baby out. Boom. Yeah. Now this, are you ready for the reveal, guys? This is a little scary looking. Scary! Okay. Let's cut off this top now. Okay. I'm trying to save those triangles. Pop out all of our seeds. That chili's going. Now, y'all, keep in mind, there's no, like I said earlier, there's no kitchen here. So I literally had to figure out a way of how can we turn this beautiful studio into a nice kitchen. And I found this lovely skillet online. It's an electric skillet. So you can literally plug it in wherever there's electricity and just literally do your thing. So I'm really happy about it. Boom, nice and easy. So we got 2 friends so far. I think we'll do one more, why not? Maybe one more? We do have one more here. Let's not leave out our friend. Let's not leave this friend out. It's getting a little messy. I hate messes in the kitchen right now. Normally I would have thrown all this into a sink, okay? Hate messes. I think this surface area is pretty cool, but let's see. Yeah, let's go with this one. Maybe with this, I'm gonna try the upside down. Let's try the upside down one and make it look a little bit more menacing, huh? And after this, I'll give a little peek. Actually, let me check on it now. Woo! Do y'all smell that? Smells good, huh? That smells delicious. Yes. Y'all, this is almost ready. Just gonna let it get thick a little bit more. Oh yeah, some nice old chili. We're gonna keep letting that do its thing while we finish off our friend here. All right, so we got one eye done. Let's do this next one. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you know, I keep trying to, holiday season is approaching us, and I'm always trying to figure out what is my favorite holiday. And honestly, it's just so hard to choose. There's just something good about each holiday. Halloween is amazing because you get to dress up and, you know, eat as much candy as you want, and it's a great excuse to go to parties and, you know, watch a ton of scary movies and whatnot. That's what I love about Halloween. Also, I love all things spooky. Spooky things are very exciting to me. So haunted houses, yes. And maybe even scarier looking jack-o'-lanterns like I'm doing now. Okay, boom. Here's the reveal. Doesn't he look menacing? Isn't he scary? So let's see the comparison. So this is our happier one. And then this is the meaner one. Do you notice the difference? Cool. All right, let's chop off this top here. Boop. Get these seeds out of here nice and carefully. This is super easy, y'all. If you're looking for a fun Halloween activity to do for yourself, do with a loved one, your children, maybe even at a school for your students, I think this is the perfect little activity. But get one of those plastic play knives, you know, for the children. Maybe yourself too, if you're not the best with knives, like myself. Maybe I should have gotten some plastic ones. All right, so we got our little jack-o'-lanterns here, y'all. Super duper happy about that. Now, one thing I'm afraid of is this chili spilling out. Might spill out of our mouth here, so we're gonna have to be careful about that. Boom. Okay, boom. Nice and done. So we're gonna take a little pause here, wait for this chili to kind of cook up a little bit, and then we'll reconvene and stuff these bad boys, all right? See you in a minute. All right, y'all, we are back. This chili, it's doing what chili should do, and that's be delicious, all right? So, whoa, see that? Things are happening. I'm like a witch in here. It's like Halloween, we're doing our thing, you know? We're doing some workings going on. All right, yummy. So, I would say we're about done. I want to give this a taste, but I'm not going to use the same spoon. We're going to use a different spoon because we don't do that, okay? It's going to be really hot. But I want to make sure it's good and ready to go in this pepper, okay? I just want to get a little bit. Let me just get a little bit. A little bean in there, a little sauce. All right, let's see how this tastes. Woo, yes, that's what I'm talking about, y'all. Delicious. Okay, so now let's stuff these peppers. We're gonna turn off your stove. Okay. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more adobo because I'm an adobo fiend. Don't worry about it. All right. We're gonna give that a nice little mix again. And here's what we're gonna do. So, got real quiet. We're gonna stuff these bad boys. Now they're gonna be oozing out because that's what happens. You know, they're supposed to look a little scary. Look at that. That's what it's giving. Okay, so boom. Yours at home will probably, you know, do the same thing, but this doesn't really need long in the oven, okay? We're only gonna put it in for like 10 minutes at the max, but we actually have an air fryer here, so it's gonna be even quicker. Boom. I'm hoping that's looking okay. I'm gonna have to wash this tablecloth. Lord have mercy. I'm telling you, this is perfect for kids because kids well, I don't have any kids. I'm just assuming. I work a lot with kids, you know, being Miss Black Vermont and, you know, being in Harmony's kitchen. I love doing like cooking classes and stuff for kids. But kids love mess, I will say that. So this is a nice, fun, messy thing you can do with your kiddos, all right? So we're gonna get some cheese that we got from Shelburne Farms. Shout out to y'all. Normally, I would shred this, but I don't have that, so we're just gonna chop it up. We're gonna put some cheese on top though, so it can be all nice and melted, okay? Yeah, I was gonna chop it, but you might as well just break it up with your hands. I like using my hands. It's good for you, you know? Get all in there. All this spoon stuff, that's new age stuff, you know? It's of the future. Let's bring it back to the past. Boom. Okay. Let's add a little bit more cheese, okay? A little bit more, a little bit more. Boom. How is that looking? This one, you look very scary, okay? Calm down, don't scare the viewers, all right? Okay, so I'm gonna put this in my oven, okay? And we'll be right back. It's gonna sink on down here. All right, y'all, so our lanterns are ready. So let's go ahead, pull these out of the oven. I have my beautiful pink gloves, courtesy of Paris Hilton. It says that's hot, and it's because these things are gonna be very hot. So be careful, make sure you're using gloves. But let's pull it out of our studio oven here. Look at these guys, oh my goodness. Okay, let's close that up, turn that off. And let's give it a good plating, all right? It's hot. Careful. Oh my goodness. The cheese is all cheesy and melted. Wow, these are really hot, guys. Be careful. Look at this. Okay. Wow. Guys, that one looks so scary. Oh my goodness. Is the face, is that good? Awesome. Now I want this face showing too. Let me see you guys. I want to see you guys myself. Amazing. Oh my goodness. Guys, I've had so much fun making these with you all today. Y'all need to show me how yours come out. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and invite Steve, who's been helping me so much on set, to come on down and have a little taste test with me, if you will.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yes. Now, it's going to be pretty hot, okay? Okay. Feel free to dig in, whichever one. Make sure you blow it. But you see how cheesy that is, guys? Nice and cheesy. All right. I'm going to dig into it at the same time. All right. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that cheese on top. Shelburne Farms. Y'all do cheese very well. And I do chili very well as well. Thank you so much. Yay. Woo! We did it, y'all. Now, here's what we have here, y'all. We have some cheesy, chili stuffed jack-o'-lanterns. My name is Harmony Edosomwan, and this is Cooking in Harmony. Thank you so much for joining me today. This will be a monthly series we have going on. So, yeah. Oh, look at that shot this way. Oh, yeah. Look at them. They're like crying the cheese. They're crying. All right. Yeah, this will be a monthly series. So I will be back next month teaching out a new dish. I won't be revealing what that is yet, but it's going to be a fun time. And I hope that you join me next time and that we just keep exploring in the kitchen together. This is a real big pleasure of mine, all right? So until next time, I'm Harmony, and this is Cooking in Harmony. Thank you. Bye-bye. Say bye.